You ready? Hey everyone! I'm Gretchen Saffles, and this is my sweet little baby Nolan, who is still kind of waking up just a little bit. I'm so glad that you are joining us on Periscope today. This is our first time ever doing something like this, so we're just going to try it out and see how it works. Nolan's very excited. We would love to start doing this maybe once or twice a week so you can stay updated through Instagram and through our weekly emails as to when I will be doing these. And so I just wanted to start us off today just sharing a little bit of something that I have learned recently. In May, I entered into this new season of motherhood, and now I have a sweet little baby in my arms all the time. It's such a blessing, but my life looks totally different than it did before. As you can see right here is where I sit every single day and have my time with the Lord, and over here is where Nolan actually lays on his little play mat and plays during that time. And it looks different than it used to, but God's been teaching me that he still meets with me during these times. Last fall, he kept bringing up to me what it means to be still and know that I'm God. I crave stillness a lot. In the busyness of life, I crave being able just to sit with the Lord. But right now, as you can see, this sweet little one is with me all the time, and being still and know looks different. Sometimes it's not in the quiet. Sometimes it's actually really loud, and sometimes my hands are really busy. But God has brought me to a new place of realizing that we're not always going to have the quiet. In Psalm 46, if you read the entire chapter where be still and know that I am God is, all of these different things are happening. It talks about the waters roaring and foaming, the mountains trembling and swelling, the nations raging, the kingdoms tottering. All of these different things are happening, and it's chaos all around. And yet, at the very end of the chapter, it says, to be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. And when I was reading that, I had so much comfort knowing that things aren't always going to be quiet. They're not always going to be still. But even when it feels like our circumstances are crumbling around us, maybe our to-do lists are overwhelming us, that we can still be still and know that he is God. And the other day I was reading in Mark 4, and it was about Jesus calming the storm. And I've read this several times. You probably have too, but the Lord pointed something new out to me. Jesus had led the disciples to get into the boat. And as they were in the boat, they were just traveling along. A great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat so that the boat was already filling up. So if you can imagine the disciples being in there, the boat is getting overwhelmed by waves. They're starting to sink because of it. And they look over at Jesus, and he's asleep. He's literally asleep during the storm. And their response to him was, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And so they're looking at their circumstances and feeling like they're being overwhelmed by the waves. And yet they look to Jesus, and in that moment, Jesus awoke, and he rebuked the waves and said, "Peace, be still." And the words "be still" mean to be kept in check. And the words "be still" and "know" in Psalm 46:10 also mean to cease striving and to sink deep. So we're supposed to sink deep into the presence of God. Instead of sinking because our circumstances and our to-do lists are overwhelming and we feel like we can't see above the waves, we're supposed to instead look to Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, and to sink into his presence and his faithfulness. And so I just want to challenge you today that I don't know what your week looks like. Mine feels a little bit overwhelming, to be honest. And instead of being overwhelmed by all the things that we need to do, instead to sink deep into God's presence and to sink and to know that he is with you in the storm. He has not left you. He is capable of bringing you through. He is capable of giving you strength and giving you joy. And Robert McChaney once said, for every look at self, to take 10 looks to Christ. And so write down your 10 things that you are going to do, the 10 things that you're going to remember of how God has been faithful to you, and to be still and know that he is God. And so I think it's time for this little baby's nap today because he's yawning already. I hope that y'all have a blessed day. I also wanted to say our Give Me Jesus journals are 20% off this week. You can use the code Give Me Jesus 20 at checkout. And if you have any questions, you can just tweet them at me or send me an email. Hope you have a great day. Bye.